In the heartlands of India, a revolution is underway, brought to life by Spice Money, the trailblazing rural fintech powerhouse. And the driving force behind this change, the Spice Money Adhikaris, the true champions of digital empowerment. Through cutting-edge technology and an extensive Adhikari network, Spice Money bridges gaps in financial access for rural Indians. Today, Spice Money is not just serving communities, they're transforming lives, bringing vital financial services to even the remotest corners. Let's have a look at their story.
Thank you so much, Mr. Modi, for joining us today on Leaders of Tomorrow.
Thank you for having me on the show, Ritwika.
So, I'm really curious to understand, while most businesses are focused on urban markets, what prompted you to venture into the rural fintech space? What are the key opportunities, do you see in this sector? And also, what are some of your projections, for the rural fintech space in India?
So if you look at India, Ritwika, it's 1.4 billion people. And nearly 900 million people actually live in rural India. So when we talk about digital payments revolution, when we talk about digital finance revolution, it's really enabling the 900 million people that live in rural India to participate in this revolution that we are seeing.
Sure.
And it's already begun, right? We talk about UPI, we talk about digital payments. We see a lot of small merchants now accepting payments using QR. So, it's trickling down, but effectively, there's a huge opportunity still untapped when it comes to rural India. And we at Spice Money see this as a big opportunity for us to integrate the 900 million people living in rural India into the formal financial economy. And that is the big opportunity that we see as a business, but also we see the impact that this will create in terms of uplifting livelihoods of small business owners.
Sure.
And the need to drive entrepreneurship and growth in rural India. Because if we have to become a developed economy by 2047, and if we have to become the third largest economy, rural India has to contribute. Bharat has to grow for India to grow.
Absolutely. And just picking up from what you said, our show Leaders of Tomorrow, we also cater to a lot of smaller, medium-sized businesses as well. And when we speak of the MSME sector, a lot of them are not included, in the formal financial system. Tell me, what are some of the challenges they face, and how do you think we can really address these?
So you're right. The formalization and, in fact, even the digitization of the MSME sector, there's a long way to go in that. Yeah. Having said that, they contribute over close to 30% of our GDP, right?
Sure.
There are about 63 million of them in our country. And a significant majority of them actually operate in semi-urban and rural India. I think, there are barriers, and the barriers are around the fact that, they're running small businesses. Majority of them, so if I'd say 63 million MSMEs, over 60 million are actually the first M, which is micro enterprise. So these are like really small 2-3 people enterprise. And therefore, a lot of formalization is needed. I think the big opportunity that we have is digitization, right? And there are lots and lots of initiatives going on in terms of onboarding them onto digital platforms. ONDC is one great public stack that's getting built out to enable small enterprises to go online and start transacting both B2B and B2C to discover more buyers as well as to discover more sellers for their business and to grow.
Sure. So tell me then, how is Spice Money empowering smaller merchants and nanopreneurs? If you can also talk to us about Spice Money Adhikari network.
Yes. So for us, I think the problem that we're trying to solve is lack of access to formal financial services in rural India. Right. So if you look at it now, we've crossed 500 million Jan Dhan bank accounts that have been opened in our country. And while people have a bank account, they really don't have access to a bank branch or an ATM machine. The average distance to a bank branch is 11 kilometers. So someone living in a small village has to make that journey to get to a bank branch to be able to transact with their bank account. What we've been able to do at Spice Money is leverage the India stack, specifically the Aadhaar part of the India stack, to enable a small merchant in a village, who we refer to as a Spice Money Adhikari, to function as an ATM cum banking point in their village. So instead of taking the journey of 11 kilometers to get to a bank branch to transact with their bank account, within 15 minutes they can get to their local merchant who's enrolled on our platform as a Spice Money Adhikari to do their ATM and banking transactions. To date, we've signed up over 1.3 million Spice Money Adhikaris who operate on our digital platform. delivering services. To date, we've delivered to over 160 million customers, 22 million customers a month transact on our platform. So effectively, we are enabling customers to save cost, time, and effort to be able to transact with their bank within their community in the village.
Right, and I think what you just said, I think our viewers will get a better sense of what's happening on ground. So let's give a glimpse of what's happening on ground in Bhopal. Take a look.
Hi, I'm Sanjeev Kumar, co-founder and CEO of Spice Money. I'm in a village named Bilkheria, 25 kilometers away from Bhopal. And here, there is a digital revolution that is happening. The nanopreneurs who run a small shop run by a man or a woman have used technology to redefine the way banking and financial services needs to be offered. They belong to their community. They serve their community. They have trust in their community, and through technology, through a digital app, they're now offering banking and financial services to their community. नमस्ते मिताली जी, कैसी हैं आप? मिताली जी, कितने साल हो गए आपको स्पाइस मनी अधिकारी बने हुए?
1 साल से हो गया।
कैसा लग रहा है आपको?
बहुत ही अच्छा है और हमारा काम काफ़ी ज़्यादा आसान हो गया।
क्या क्या सर्विसेज आप दे पा रही हैं यहाँ पे?
पर आधार कार्ड से पैसे निकालना, ट्रांसफ़र करना, इलेक्ट्रिसिटी बिल पे करना और रिचार्ज करना, और इसी के साथ पैन कार्ड वगैरह का काम भी हम इसके थ्रू कर पा रहे हैं।
तो जब से आप स्पाइस मनी अधिकारी बने, आपकी ज़िंदगी में मिताली और गाँव वालों की ज़िंदगी में क्या बदलाव आया है?
सर, पहले लोगों के साथ प्रॉब्लम थी कि काफ़ी सारे लोग पैसे निकालने के लिए अलग अलग बैंकों में और कहीं भी जाया करते थे, तो उन्हें इतनी दूर जाने में दिक्कत आती थी। किसी का गाँव कहीं और है, कहीं और है, तो उन्हें यहीं पर पैसे अपने निकलवाने, तो उसके चक्कर में उन्हें बहुत प्रॉब्लम होती थी। स्पाइस मनी के बाद वो अच्छी तरीके से अपना पैसा निकाल भी पाते हैं और ट्रांसफ़र भी कर पाते हैं अगर उन्हें कहीं दूसरे अकाउंट में डालना होता है।
और ऐसा क्या चीज़ें हैं जो सुविधाएं हम और अगर दें तो गांव वालों का और यहाँ पे जो लोग हैं उनका फ़ायदा होगा? जैसे
अकाउंट ओपनिंग, लोन, यूपीआई जो आपके थ्रू अगर करेंगे तो काफ़ी ज़्यादा अच्छा होगा। लोग और अच्छी तरीके से अपने पैसे का यूज़ कर पाएंगे, निकाल पाएंगे। और जैसे आपने एटीएम की सुविधा दी है, भी काफ़ी ज़्यादा अच्छी है। एटीएम कहीं और जाके निकालते तो वो आप नहीं निकाल लेते हैं।
और मिताली जी, ये आपके लिए, आपकी खुद की कमाई के लिए ज़रिया अच्छा बन गया है? आपको लगता है कि मैं इससे एक अच्छी से कमाई कमा सकती हूँ आगे जाने?
हाँ, काफ़ी ज़्यादा अच्छा है, और इससे अगर ये हमेशा चलता रहा तो हम और आगे अच्छा काम कर पाएंगे इससे।
बहुत बढ़िया, थैंक यू मिताली जी। Here every transaction tells a story of hope, a story of aspirations, a story of a new emerging India.
Right, and coming back to our conversation, tell me, Mr. Modi, what are some of the essential financial and banking needs, of the rural Indian citizens of today?
So effectively, if you look at the rural economy, it's still depending on informal sources of capital. So when you think about financial services, you think about credit, you think savings, you think investments, you think insurance. And if you look at the rural economy, a lot of the formal part of each of these components, whether it's formal credit, savings, investments, insurance, have still not reached the rural economy. So they're depending on informal sources of credit. Right? They are creating their own informal source ways of savings.
Okay.
And I think there is therefore a huge opportunity for the formal financial sector to reach out to them. Now, the big question that always gets asked is, what is the size of this prize? How big is this opportunity? And that's why I go back to the numbers and say 900 million people living. And if you look at the Jan Dhan bank accounts, 50 crore bank accounts, they have over 2 lakh crores of deposits in the account. So there's money available where people can put money into accounts and then can transact with those accounts. If you look at credit, today the microfinance companies, and there's been a huge microfinance revolution in our country, and Bandhan is one example of a great institution that emerged from there.
Sure.
If you look at the credit losses in that space, they're next to minimal. And that is because rural communities don't default. They pay their dues. And as a result, therefore, there is an opportunity to build a very viable credit business. The challenge so far was unit economics, because for banks and NBFCs to operate, they have fixed costs. They have to open branches. Each branch has to pay back for itself.
Sure.
Now, with branch banking getting on your smartphone, the unit economics have significantly improved. And therefore, we can give small ticket loans, 10,000 rupees, 20,000 rupees. We can do daily installments. We can give loans for shorter durations. We can come up with micro savings products. We can enable mutual funds, to get converted into small ticket investment products. We can do micro-insurance. And so the ability to create sachet-size financial products is now enabled through technology. And that's what we're doing at Spice Money. We are enabling our merchants who have a smartphone in their hands connected to the internet to effectively become financial advisors in their community, distributing financial products. So I think the very fact that unit economics is now enabled through technology, we can actually connect the entire formal financial sector to the rural economy. And the biggest advantage this will do is bring down the cost of credit, which has been the major challenge, right? Why people rely on money lenders locally is because they get the money when they want, and therefore they have to pay a cost to it. Why is it that we cannot ensure that they get the money when they want, but get it at a significantly lower cost? Because they have truly an intent to pay. So there is great opportunity for us to integrate them into the formal financial world.
On that note, tell me, Mr. Modi, what is your vision for Spice Money in the coming years? What's the road ahead?
So I think our vision is really in line with the huge opportunity we have as a nation to lift a lot of the rural citizens in terms of income levels, in terms of their propensity to spend. And I think really it's about building an integrated financial services platform business which targets the rural citizenry. And really the way we want to do it is really look at small business owners, both existing and the aspirational ones, and therefore support them through our journey to grow their business and even to start their business. And really our idea is to ensure that we create more job creators than job seekers. And a lot of rural to urban migration happens looking for sources of income. And the idea is, why is it that you cannot stay where you are and become a job provider by coming on a Spice Money platform? And our vision is to make sure that today we have about 1.3 million nanopreneurs on a platform. Can we take it significantly to a bigger number? 63 million is what the MSME market is. We had 1 million. So you can imagine the big challenge and the opportunity we at Spice Money have to be able to become the go-to platform for these business owners, both existing and aspirational, to meet their aspirations and really to grow and to become the enablers of that growth.
Wonderful. It was lovely chatting with you, Mr. Modi. Those were some really insightful takeaways. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Ritwika, for having me on the show.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure.
With that, it's a wrap on this edition of IDFC First Bank Presents Leaders of Tomorrow Season 11. We hope you enjoyed the conversations. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.